there's definitely something in this, because his whole way was so genuine and so helpful. Even though I didn't say, okay, yes, I'm going to do the program, he was still so kind. After that conversation I had with the Shamis, I decided overnight to go plant-based. I was starting to have normal stools. And that was an amazing part of the detox. Yeah. I was going to the toilet like normal. So then I was like, right, I'm sticking with this. Not having any urgency anymore. I was going to the toilet 2 or 3 times a day normally. Yeah, I can't believe how well I felt. And do you know, something else I realized as well was the fruit and vegetables taste amazing. You don't need anything else. And there's no pain anymore. There's no urgency. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today is testimonial time and I'm joined by Sam. Welcome to the channel.
Hi, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, well, it's awesome, Sam. And you know, Sam has healed herself from Crohn's disease. So first of all, congratulations on doing that. But we're here to hear your story. So let's hear a little bit about how you got diagnosed and some of the things that you encountered, you know, before you got diagnosed. What was your, just a brief history of your whole story.
Brief history. Well, I think possibly in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, I was probably having symptoms, but I didn't realize I was having symptoms. Just IBS kind of issues have been in my family, so I thought, oh, okay, it's gonna get me as well. So I just cracked on with life as you do as a young person, not really thinking about it. I got married and moved away to Germany, and things went downhill quite quickly health-wise. And yeah, I lost a ton of weight, and I was so frail, I think you would call it, but I didn't really understand what was going on. So I managed to find a doctor in Germany who spoke very good English, and I went to see him. And within 2 weeks, I think it was, or 3 weeks, they did some tests, colonoscopies and blood tests and things, and they said you have Crohn's disease. So I was quite like, whoa, okay, what's that? Didn't really understand what that meant. But anyway, to cut a long story short, we moved back to England because I was feeling rather homesick at that time as well, because I think I was very, very deficient in a lot of things by that time, that I was then suffering with some depression. So we decided to move back to England and let the doctors see all the paperwork that the German health system had done for me, some scan work and stuff. And they got me into the system over here in England. And then they said, yeah, you've got Crohn's, and just put me on lots of different medication, really. Lots of things like, I think it was, it's a steroid, isn't it? Budesonide, I think. So they put me on that quite quickly. To be honest with you, I can't always remember how it all went, but I know that they tried lots of different medications. There was Infliximab, there was Azathioprine, which I was so ill on, even my tongue went black, so they said, oh no, you shouldn't have that. So I didn't have that anymore. Pentasa, and Mercaptopurine was then what I was on. Seemed to pick up quite well.
Just talk about some of the symptoms you're experiencing, because okay, you lose weight and things like that, but people don't understand maybe what those symptoms feel like and what Crohn's is like. So kind of just explain to people what symptoms you're having.
So very severe stomach cramps, like I was being stabbed with a knife, which obviously then sort of makes you feel very nauseous in a way, because I'd never really understood what was causing it, so it just felt very uncomfortable. I always seemed to be holding my tummy, you know, to protect it. I just felt generally fragile, and running to the toilet, always concerned where the nearest toilet was, because that was basically the thing that was getting me, was a sense of urgency. And as soon as I felt like I needed to go, I needed to go. There wasn't any wiggle room, which wasn't very pleasant at times. But then that was it really. But because of that, I think I was very nutrition deficient. So then my energy levels were very low. But despite all that, I was just battling on. I was just fighting on. So you're trying to get on with your day-to-day life, trying to work, trying to be normal, you know, do normal things, but always in the back of your head is, where's the bathroom? Is it convenient? Yeah. So those kind of, I think a lot of it is quite an emotional trauma, because you're always thinking about the toilet, and it's just not very nice, is it, to be always worried about that when there's other things to do in life.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, there's two things with that, you know, with the nutrition deficiencies, because one, your bowel's inflamed, you're not absorbing nutrients as well, and then a lot of people have more than what we would consider a normal amount of bowel motions, and so you're losing nutrients through the diarrhea and loose motions, and possibly if you're bleeding as well, you can lose blood and iron gets out of your body. And so it's like a two-pronged thing. You're not absorbing because you're inflamed, and you're losing, so you lose a lot of weight and things like that. So what did the doctors tell you? Like, what options did you have?
Well, I was very much like, I would like to control this with diet. Do you think? I don't know why I was always into that. I was always a vegetarian, and I was always into trying to eat healthily. But he said to me, "Oh no, diet won't affect anything. These medicines will help. You just need to find the right one for you." And to be honest, I believed him, because I didn't know any different. So I went along with it, and eventually the medications did start working, and I started to feel better. So I thought, oh, okay, good. So this is fine. But yeah, things then took a turn for the worse again. So yeah, I just thought I was destined to have this all the time.
So did you just have lots and lots of, you know, recurring episodes? As the one medication would fail you, then you have to go a different one, and another one. Is that kind of what your journey was like?
Yeah, I was on Pentasa for quite a while. I don't remember the timings of things, but I was on Mercaptopurine for quite a while, and there seems to be a gap. I can't remember what happened, but there was a time where I was on Mercaptopurine and then I wasn't. And I think it was then when I was saying to the doctor, look, I don't want to take that anymore. I want to do this with nutrition. And I was speaking to the nutritionalist at the hospital. And they said, okay, but they didn't really recommend it. But I said, no, I want to try. And then things got worse. So I think I didn't really understand what I was doing. I wasn't keyed up. I hadn't got the education. So things drastically went bad. I wasn't on any medication at the time. And I had very, very severe stricturing in the intestine, very severe pain. They got me in to do an MRI and other tests and saw that they needed to operate or else it might burst, because some channel had formed from my small intestine straight to my large. And so all the food was bypassing my system anyway and just coming straight out. So they said this was a emergency operation, quickly get me in, which they did. And they said it was quite a mess in there. They had to remove quite a section of large intestine and small, and my appendix and all the surrounding area, because it had become quite, well, ruined, I suppose. I don't know. I didn't have a look. But then afterwards, I felt really good, because that wasn't there anymore. And I was so determined that it wasn't going to come back that I stayed eating very well. But can you imagine, right? One of the first things I craved was a burger.
Yeah.
And I felt that was very bizarre, because I had been vegetarian nearly all my life. And I was craving a burger, and I thought that was really weird. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I continued with the healthy eating. That was actually back in 2012. I had that surgery. But then by 2014, the Crohn's was then active again. So the pain had started, and the loose stools started, the mucus. I never had blood, funnily enough, but I always had mucus. And then I started having these like bouts, these like weekends, where I was completely floored, and I just had to sleep, and I just felt like I had zero energy, and I would get hot and cold, like fevery.
Yeah. So that's interesting, isn't it, Sam? Because a lot of the times you hear that the doctor will tell you that, oh, you need to have surgery, and once you have the surgery, you're going to be good. You know what I mean? And the amount of people that come back to us and say, oh, I've had a surgery and then it came back, or I had, I got a pouch and now I've got pouchitis. And so surgery isn't going to solve your problem, because it doesn't deal with the root cause of the problem, right? So talk about what you did from there. And obviously, you probably are still going on and off medications at the time. What happened from there, and why did you want to not take medications long term?
Well, because from what it appeared to me, what I was doing with my nutrition obviously wasn't helping, because it came back. So I thought to myself, the only way to do this then is to go on the medication, because before the surgery, when I was taking it, it seemed to keep it at bay, keep it calm. So then I agreed, okay, I don't know what else to do. I was like at my wit's end, really. So then I started taking Mercaptopurine in 2015. And I always thought it was a bit of a dangerous drug. I don't know if I really understood what it was that I was taking. But it should have been a bit of a test. It should have been a bit of a thing, really, knowing that every 3 months you go in and have your bloods checked, just to make sure that nothing's bad's going on with your liver and other things. I don't understand why that didn't dawn on me sooner. That what you're taking, I mean, I read all the information about it, but I just thought, yeah, but I need it because it makes me feel better. So I was on Mercaptopurine from 2015 until October 2020. Which is around the time that I started with high carb health.
Yeah. So you did something.
I felt quite good.
Yeah. So why did you want to stop taking the medicine then? Obviously you realized that something about it wasn't what you wanted to do long term.
Yeah. Well, I read all the information that comes with the tablets, and I was thinking to myself, I don't want to be on a medication that actually they give to leukemia patients. So it's for blood cancer. And I thought, this is cytotoxic. This is a chemotherapy. And I'm taking this, and I've been taking this for 5 years now. What on earth is it doing to me inside that I don't know about? From that point on, when those thoughts kept buzzing around my head, I was like, I don't want to be on this anymore. I need to find a way to get off of this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Wonderful.
that thought didn't leave me.
Yeah, and even though it was keeping you under control, keeping the symptoms under control, yeah, it's still disconcerting, isn't it? The strength of the medication, the danger, the side effects, and the long term, I guess, consequences of being on these drugs is pretty severe. So, how did you find out about our program, and what made you want to join?
Well, a friend of mine was working with you guys, High Carb Health, and she spoke to me about it and was raving on about it, saying you should look into them at least. And I thought, yeah, okay, sounds interesting. She sent me a link to your website, which I have to be honest, I didn't look at for quite some time because I'm always a bit skeptical. But there was just one day when I was scrolling through my phone and I stumbled across her message again, and I thought, you know what, let's just have a look at it. So I had a look at the website, and I started listening to some of the testimonies, all the ones that were people with Crohn's, particularly. Obviously, I'm interested in that. And I just kept thinking, if it happened for them, might it happen for me? Yeah, so I just kept watching all those testimonials and thought, shall I, shan't I, shall I? So I just went for it, and I booked the 30-minute session with Shamise, and we had a chat.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this video thinking, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? You know?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really, you got to take control of your health, and I think that's the biggest message. Whether you do the program or not, taking control of your health is really important. So, what did you discuss with Shamise?
Do you know what? I just wanted to find out what it was all about. Like, are you legit? It's a lot of money. Is it a lot of money? I don't know. So I'm weighing it up, like finding out if he thought maybe it would help after I told him a little bit about my story. And yeah, and I was just saying about, like, I was thinking of trying to come off the medication myself anyway, like gradually wean myself off. And I was like, do you think maybe if I was to do that, maybe, do you think your program might help me if it goes pear-shaped? But it was just his whole way. When I spoke to him, I was thinking, there's definitely something in this, because his whole way was so genuine and so helpful. Even though I didn't say, okay, yes, I'm going to do the program, he was still so kind and so helpful that I thought, if you guys were in this for the money, you wouldn't be like that. Yeah. So then I kept thinking about it after our conversation.
Yeah. And then obviously at some point you decided to join. What made you want to join? And then talk about some of the information that you get when you do join the program.
Well, after that conversation I had with Shamise, I decided overnight to go plant-based. Which was the best thing I did, I think, because I then said to myself, okay, let me go plant-based for like 3 months, see how I get on, see how I feel, and then maybe think about the program. See if I can do it myself first, is what I thought, because I was also then following you guys on Instagram, looking at what you were eating and what you were doing. So I thought, okay, let's do that first, plant-based. As time went on, I felt so good. I was thinking, then there has to be something in this. But I came to a point where I thought, okay, this is good, but maybe I need a bit of help, like to make sure I've done it right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I decided to go with the program, because I wanted your advice. So yes.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I think
that's when I
that's where the
decided.
program really helps, isn't it? Because
Mm,
the experience we've had with hundreds of people, we can tell you that, you know, what you're experiencing, is that okay? Is that not okay? You know, is this how we normally see that happening with people? Is this how people heal? That kind of thing. So it really does
yes.
make a difference to know, if you want to have an idea that, okay, have I done the right thing? Have I done enough healing? All this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We can tell you with a reasonable degree of certainty, and no one can be 100% sure, right? But with a
Mm,
reasonable degree of certainty that, okay, yes, I think you've done enough, and we can start, you know, heading towards post healing and things like that. So
yeah.
absolutely, I think it's actually a good thing that the sooner you go on plant-based, even if you don't start the program straight away, if you go plant-based before you join us, that's going to help you for sure, you know. So definitely make that change, and you know, start helping your gut microbiome with those healthy plant fibers. Okay, so you started the program, you got the introduction email. What did you learn?
Introduction email. Oh, I've got a book of it. There is so much information. It could be a little bit overwhelming to start with.
Mm,
Um, I can't remember now what was in the introduction email. It was lots. Then there was the videos to watch.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
they're very educated. It's all just educational, and so that's why I
mhm,
got myself a notebook and good pens, and I watched those videos and the extra downloads, the ebooks and stuff.
mhm.
The book, um, Dr. Klein's book.
Yep.
Yes, you see these. It's not with me right now. It's upstairs, but
Mhm,
that's got study marks all over it.
mhm,
I love it because it's not just about what you're eating. It is, but it's the education that comes along with it. You know,
mm,
so that's what I really appreciate about the program as well, is all the information that you do share. Um,
mhm.
yes, like the charts that you give us for food combining. That is all invaluable, and I could not have done that part by myself. So I'm so
Mm.
pleased that you provide all that information for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the thing is, because you went plant-based and you actually allowed your body to do a bit of a, you actually went through a bit of a detox before you started the program, didn't you? Talk about
I
that.
believe, yeah, I must, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I lost quite a bit of weight,
Mm,
which wasn't a bad thing. But then I did lose a lot of hair. So my
mm-hmm,
hair started coming out quite a lot,
mm-hmm,
which was a little bit disconcerting, but it's okay now, I think.
mm-hmm,
I had some like skin rashes as well, like eczema type things, and yeah, just a few funny little like um, pussy bits coming in my mouth, or little
mm-hmm,
balls
mm-hmm,
behind my ear or in my mouth, under my tongue. Lots of funny things that happened, that I
mm.
suppose was all part of the body getting rid of things.
Yeah.
Um, mm, it was very interesting process actually, um, but even though those things were happening, I have to say, I just felt like something was really working, because
Mm.
I was starting to have normal stools, and that was an amazing part of the detox. I
Yeah.
was going to the toilet like normal.
Mm.
Um, so then I was like, right, I'm sticking with this. Yeah.
And then explain your journey as you went through the program. What was the support like, and how did the body change? How did you start to feel? And yeah, just talk about how things went over those. I believe it was 6 months that you worked with us, or
It was
3 months.
3
3
months, I think.
months.
Yeah.
3 months. Yeah, sorry, 3 months you
Yeah.
worked with us. Yeah, talk about all the
Yeah,
changes that
nice.
you experienced.
So I'm glad that I did the plant-based bit first, because I think jumping straight into then the transition diet, it would have been a shock for my body. But because I'd done that part before, I think then going into the transition diet, and then the healing diet, it wasn't so overwhelming for the body, for my body, at least for me. So I did continue to lose quite a bit of weight while I was doing that, the transition and the healing. But and energy levels were quite low, I have to be honest. I felt quite weak, and I was sleeping a lot, which that felt good.
Yeah.
Every single week I was so pleased to meet up with you, because it was just nice to have a chat about the week. And even though to be honest, I felt quite good the whole time, because I could see that my body was slowly making change. It was getting better, so I was, because you're not having symptoms anymore, I sometimes I forget that I have or had Crohn's, not having any urgency anymore. I was going to the toilet 2 or 3 times a day normally, formed stools, no mucus, nothing horrible. So because that was happening, I was like, right, I'm sticking with this, and I felt very positive about it. But meeting up with you was just great, because you were very reassuring. And when I did have little blips where I was feeling a bit sorry for myself, you were there, and you picked me up with your encouraging words and positive mental thoughts. I can't thank you enough for those chats we had every Sunday. Just great. I can't believe how well I felt, even though it was a little bit tricky, I have to say. The healing diet I found it tricky. But I'm also quite a determined person internally. So I think I was determined, I'm going to stick with this. Why go through all that work just to fall back, or just to then, eat something you shouldn't? Why do that to yourself when you've worked this hard? I'm glad I stuck with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we never tell anyone that this is going to be an easy process, right? So there's definitely times it's going to challenge you, and the healing diet is quite a strict protocol, so you don't get a lot of variety, and it does test you mentally as to how you're able to overcome your addiction to food. It's actually a really positive thing in the long run. It makes you really disciplined with food.
And it gets you creative as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And it's really important from a health point of view that you don't become addicted to food. Don't get addicted to certain tastes and things like that, because then you're going to be chasing after things, and you're going to make bad decisions. And so if you've been through the healing diet, and you can stay disciplined, and you can say, oh well, I can just eat some boiled potatoes and broccoli soup for dinner if I don't have any other options, and it's fine. And it's not like you have to go out and get the the next thing. Just eat the same thing regularly, and it actually feels good, and when your body feels good, you don't mind eating that particular way.
Yeah, it's so true. The consistency of the food, I think, is extremely important. And something else I realized as well was the fruit and vegetables taste amazing. You don't need anything else. You don't need to add anything. And that's something that, like, a lot of people, they just don't grasp. I wish everybody could do it, could try it, because then they would just see how beautiful our food is. Like this evening, I just had a load of steamed veg and some potatoes, and I was just like, every mouthful was just delicious. And I'm like, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you're eating it, you're feeding your body the right food. And I know I'm going to feel fine tomorrow because of it. It's like, why not do it? Seriously.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, your taste buds change over time as well, you know, because you mask the natural ability of your taste buds, with what we call excitotoxins, because you're always bombarding with so much flavor that your taste buds become numb. And so it takes you a good 3 to 4 weeks to start to readjust the taste buds back to their natural ability to taste the food in its normal state, you know, without having to alter it with too many flavors and things like that, you know. So that's awesome. All right, so so we go through 3 phases, right? We go to the transition diet, we go to the healing diet, which you went through, and you know, because you didn't have a hugely severe detox on the program itself, you kind of went through that before you joined us. We were able to kind of fast forward things, right? We were able to go quickly onto the healing diet, and then when you were still feeling good on the healing diet, we're okay, we're pretty confident that the body's healed, and we went through the post-healing phase where we introduced all the food slowly back into your diet. And you know, just kind of discuss, how do you feel like after that guidance, and what your life is like now?
My life now is very different because I'm not always worried about what I'm going to eat, because it's just a nice simple food. I'm really pleased that I was able to then add all the foods back in, but it's not like I need all those different varieties. I mean, you do need variety, of course, but I'm very happy with simple food, which I'm very pleased about. So that takes a lot of pressure off of you, always having to think about, oh, what's for dinner. So I think mentally, my mind is a lot freer now, because I'm not always worried about what it is I'm eating. Is it harmful for me? I'm not always wondering where the toilet is. So I'm a lot freer in myself. I haven't had any bouts of depression this whole time now. I feel actually nearly like a different person. Mentally, I'm a lot stronger. Yeah. Sorry, I've got a bit lost now in what I'm saying. But my life is different now. I have my quality of life back. Yeah, I mean, I love running. So before I was with High Carb Health, I would run only in one place, and that place I knew had toilets. Now I don't even need to think about that. Now I can just go down, running wherever I want, down by the river here. Just simple things like that. You just feel like you have been given your life back. And there's no pain anymore. There's no urgency. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I don't really know quite how else to explain it. I
don't think words can't really describe the feeling of getting your life back, getting a second chance at life, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like you had Crohn's for a short period of time. You had this for years and years, and to not have to deal with it anymore, you know, it takes a lot of it takes a lot of commitment, one, to get over it, but also second, to break away from the fact that, you know, because it's such a huge part of your identity, that to break away, oh, I don't have that, you know, and to actually just move on from it is actually not that easy for a lot of people. So, you know, congratulations for being able to do that and not let it consume you anymore.
Do you know, it's because you're not having symptoms anymore. I sometimes forget that I have or had Crohn's. Sometimes in the back of your head is like, will it come back? But then you're armed now. I know what to do. the education that you guys have provided. So
Mhm.
now I'm always, I'm armed, so I know what to eat. I know that I can do the healing diet if things crop up.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's really wonderful as well, because now all
Mm.
that education you have, you can use to your benefit. um
Yep.
yeah I,
Yeah, absolutely. It's for us, it's about giving you the information so you can get on with your life and that you don't need to rely on us, you know. Um, if something happens or you slip up or you make a mistake somewhere and some symptoms come back, then you know what to do to heal yourself because you've already done it. The body's done it before. Um, Obviously, we don't want you to have to rely on that. We'd rather you just continue living healthily and don't have to have the symptoms again. But you know,
yeah.
everyone's human and people do make mistakes. So having that education to know what to do when you do get into a situation where some symptoms may return, then you can quickly sort it out. You don't have to wonder what do I need to do now. You already know.
Yeah.
So yeah, super proud of you. I think it's an amazing thing to be able to get through what you did, and not only physically but mentally as well. You overcome a lot. So that's a big thumbs up from us here.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, Look, as we finish off the interview, let's talk about advice, because I'd like you to give advice to someone, people that are watching this. What would you tell people that are possibly in a similar situation that you were in, had IBD for a long time, had a surgery even, and not sure if they can heal? What would you
Mm.
tell them?
I would say that a whole food plant-based diet is the way to go,
Mm.
and to do it properly you need guidance.
Mm.
And so don't be like me and think it's not for me, or I don't know if I trust. Please just listen to all the testimonies and see how many people's lives this has changed,
Mm.
and you can be one of them as well, because now
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Yeah.
Just like, if you're in a doubting phase,
Mm.
try to get over that doubting phase and go
Mm.
for it,
Mm.
because you will not regret it, because I haven't. I would do
Mm.
it again. Thankfully I don't need to now, but if I could go back, I would have done it sooner. If I'd have learnt about this before, I would have done it sooner. I didn't. I'm glad I learnt about it when I did, and I'm so glad I
Mm.
did. So my advice would be, if you're watching and contemplating, please do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're not sure, have a chat, a free consultation. Sham's
Yeah,
there, able to
yeah,
chat to you. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So,
that's right.
yeah, just have a chat to us. And if you don't like what you hear, that's cool. If you do, then you can
Mm.
join. So,
And I think
that's all it is.
doing that 30-minute consultation will swing it for everyone. So everybody should book one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so um, first of all, again, massive congratulations to you. Sham and I are really proud of you, and this is my favorite part. You now have a life after Crohn's. It's so exciting.
I know, it's great.
And I love how this comes full circle, because most people find us because they've watched a testimonial, they've watched it, and kind of like, now you're paying it forward, and it's you who's on the testimonial. You're watching it thinking, oh, can I do it? And now you've done it and you're there. So
Yeah.
it's what I love about this the most, is that people find us because they've watched the testimonial, and then once they heal, they're now paying that forward to someone else,
Yeah.
the next person who may actually watch it and heal themselves. So
Yeah.
super, super proud and really excited, and yeah, just
Well,
make the most of your second chance.
thank you. I intend to, but thank you to you for your support. Really, I don't think I could have done it without your support and guidance. So thank you to High Carb Health.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, thank you for those who made it this far, and hope you've enjoyed listening to Sam's testimony about how she healed Crohn's disease, something that the doctor will tell you is medically incurable. But you can heal, and you don't need medicine for that. Okay. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, you can hit the subscribe button down below. And if you click on that bell notification icon, you will get updates of all our recent uploads. And if you have any questions about Sam's story, there's a comment section down there. Ask away, and I'll do my best to answer. But in the meantime, make sure you eat plants, and lots of them, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye. Give this video a thumbs up if you know what it's like to live with IBD, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. This channel is designed to help people recover from colitis, Crohn's, and any other form of IBD. You can always head to our website, highcarbhealth.com, for a free 30-minute consultation from anywhere in the world. And remember, there is a life after colitis.